Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. This is going to be yet another video on the Sony ZV-E10. This time we are going to compare the video quality of the ZV-E10 to the old a5100. This is going to be an interesting test because the a5100 does not come with any picture profiles. What I used to do is I set the creative style on the a5100 from standard to portrait and adjusted the settings a little bit to kind of recreate that cinematic look. I will do the exact same thing on the ZV-E10. Also, by the way, the lighting condition and the white balance will be exactly the same during this test. We will zoom in a little bit on the darker areas and we will have a look at the lighter areas like my skin. And last but not least, we're going to shoot the ZV-E10 in a picture profile, more specifically the Cine 4 picture profile, to actually see what kind of an improvement we can get from the ZV-E10 over the old a5100. So with all that out of the way, let's dive right in. You know what, before we get started, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on. I will have some more videos coming up on the ZV-E10 and some other tech stuff here for the channel. So yeah, let's dive in. Alright, so here we are looking at a freeze frame from the a5100. As I said, the creative style is set to portrait and the settings are contrast -1, saturation 0 and sharpness -1. By the way, the entire video was shot on the Sigma 60mm with the aperture set to 2.2, the ISO set to 200 and the shutter speed set to 1/50th of a second, which is double the frame rate. And before I show you a full comparison, let's have a look at some of the details here in the video. So let's have a look at the bottom left area of the image first. I hope you can see this with the YouTube compression, but the a5100 has slightly more noise and is falling apart a little bit in the darker areas. Also, the highlight roll-off is a bit harsh on the a5100 compared to the ZV-E10 if you look directly into the light. The ZV-E10 also retains a bit more detail in the overall image. The same holds true if we look at the bottom right corner. The a5100 is a little more blotchy and noisy, while the ZV-E10 creates a slightly cleaner image. Now here's the side-by-side comparison, and what you notice immediately is Sony's new color science on the ZV-E10. The a5100 is a bit more yellowish, while the ZV-E10 leans a bit more towards magenta. Overall, the ZV-E10 produces a much cleaner and more natural looking image. And right here is another close-up shot of my face. We're zooming in quite a bit on this one, so this isn't really a fair comparison as I shot the video on the ZV-E10 in 4K and the video of the a5100 in 1080. I still wanted to show you the close-up shot for the skin tones, so yeah. Alright, up next is the a5100 next to the ZV-E10 next to the ZV-E10 shot in the Cine 4 picture profile. The graded footage is much more true to the scene and appears a bit more natural compared to the footage that was shot in the portrait profile. Now here's another look at the bottom left corner. The graded video retains much more detail in the highlights and the colors look much more like they look like in real life. Now here's a full screen shot of the a5100. This is the footage of the ZV-E10 also shot in portrait. And right here we are looking at the graded footage of the ZV-E10 that I recorded in the Cine 4 profile. Here you see both videos of the ZV-E10 side by side. As I said earlier, the graded image is a bit softer and more natural. Also, the color of the t-shirt in real life looks much more as on the graded footage on the right side of the screen. And right here, the color difference is even more noticeable. The color on the portrait profile appears blue, while it's actually purple, as you can see on the graded image. And here you have it. While I think the video that comes out of the a5100 is not bad at all, the ZV-E10 is definitely a huge upgrade, especially because it can also record in 4K. And if you're willing to put in the extra work and grade your footage, you can even take it up a notch. With the right settings, the ZV-E10 does not overheat and you will definitely benefit from Sony's new color science. In my opinion, the ZV-E10 currently is the best bang for the buck YouTuber camera, and as I said earlier, if you're interested, I will have a link down below for you in the video description. Alright, and we are now back on the Sony ZV-E10 with the picture profile enabled. By the way, I will have a video coming up on my favorite Cine 4 picture profile settings, so if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on. Also, if you liked the video so far, give it a thumbs up. And this is basically it for this video. I just wanted to give you a comparison between both cameras and give you an idea of what quality improvement you can expect from the ZV-E10 over something like the old a5100. But again, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next one. All right.